CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with the Menorah lighting ceremony at City Hall in the aftermath of what's being called an anti-Semitic terrorist attack in Australia.
Many had the question, are we going to cancel this event? No. No. Are we canceling this event? No. Are we standing strong?
Yes. More than 100 people turned out for the event marking the second night of Hanukkah. The mayor and several city councillors were there, as well as representatives from multiple local police forces.
We show both the Jewish community and the greater London community that we are standing together and we are united, and the most effective way to get rid of darkness is to create a little bit of light.
And earlier today, the police chief said there would be extra patrols visible at Jewish events this week. With more on the shock among members of the local Jewish community, here's Brian Bicknell.
A police cruiser is parked outside the Jewish Community Centre in London. It's become an all too common sight each time a high-profile act of anti-Semitism occurs around the world, according to Dean Lavey, Executive Director of Jewish London.
The rise in anti-Semitism, the normalization of Jew hatred in our society, inevitably leads to Jews being murdered.
London's Jewish community is devastated as Hanukkah events take place across the community in wake of Sunday's deadly attack in Australia. Lavey says it comes at a time when people of Jewish faith are already feeling targeted.
This has been a very hard 2 years for the Jewish community. We see in London and across the country that anti-Semitism has shot up dramatically. In London, the police reporting, the hate reporting data just came out, and it shows that Jews in London are 35 times more likely to suffer a hate incident than the average Londoner.
Police Chief Tai Trong issuing a statement on social media saying our hearts go out to those impacted by the senseless violence. LPS continues to work with provincial, national and international law enforcement partners to monitor events.
Intelligence guides us on how we're going to deploy and positions us, helps us position how we're going to respond from a reactive model to a proactive model. You will see more police officers visibly present in the Jewish community and in places of worship and at events throughout the city.
In the meantime, Rabbi Mendel Gurkow says it's important to continue celebrating Hanukkah, especially in light of the tragedy.
The message of Hanukkah, the menorah standing right behind me, every night throughout Hanukkah we light another candle, increasing in light. And the menorah specifically lit after dark, because the message of Hanukkah is that a little bit of light goes a long way in illuminating darkness.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Landlords are pushing back against rule changes tonight designed to close a loophole in London's Renovation bylaw.
Most of the concerns I'm getting are with tenants who are not paying rent or with issues that aren't really within the scope of what this motion is about.
Councillor David Ferreira will bring his motion to council after failing to receive a committee's endorsement 2 weeks ago. The current bylaw does not apply to apartment conversions into commercial space, which he says landlords are doing to evict tenants and hike the rent. Ferreira says expanding the bylaw's scope will keep low-income tenants in apartments they can afford.
I have been told by staff that it's very likely that we don't need any extra municipal cost component of this, and this can be incorporated within that program.
Workers at the Cami assembly plant in Ingersoll are learning about their options this week in the face of an uncertain employment future. Their choices include leaving GM, retiring, or holding out until a new product is announced. And as Sean Irvin reports, many are leaning toward that latter option.
GM Cami workers file in and out of the Unifor Local 88 Union Hall in Ingersoll. Inside, they learn more about their options amid the plant's shutdown. GM announced in the fall it would end production of the Bright Drop electric delivery van. The company has stated it remains committed to Canada, but there are no signs a new product in Ingersoll is on the horizon. Meanwhile, more than 1,100 people are out of work. Among them are many couples who rely on multiple GM paychecks.
My wife works there as well, so it was kind of a double hit when we got the news that we were going to be shutting down. So it made it a bit anxious for us, our household.
But Paul Harvey, a father of 4, is staying positive while cutting back. He has 21 years of service.
Well, it's definitely different. You know, we got to watch what we spend, make smart decisions.
It's a tough choice for Ken and Luana Paradine. They met on the line at Cami and have been married for 15 years.
Back in 2005, they tell us, oh, you'll never have to find another job. You'll be here until you retire. And then bam, we're done.
While Luana concedes she needs to work, Ken has a choice to make. With 35 years in, retirement is on the table.
My plan was to go to 65 and all that, and well, with all this stuff going on, that plan is now kind of gone.
Gone for those further down the seniority list is the comfort of a regular paycheck. It's why most told us they will likely take the 6 months of pay offered and wait until GM decides Cami's future. Tammy Rowlandson did not want to comment on her husband's selection, but for her, it's an obvious one.
It's hard to find a job out there now that even comes close to paying what we get. So it's really no decision.
Now, the deadline for many of the choices on the table here is January 7th. That will lead to anxiety for some over the holiday season. And into 2026 as budgets tighten amid the waiting game.
Can we do it? Yeah. Is it going to be tight? Absolutely. But we've done it before. We did it through COVID, so we'll do it again.
In Ingersoll, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
A water main broke over the weekend, washing away part of Highbury Avenue in the city's north end and interrupting service for nearby residents. As Jerry Dewan reports, there have been delays in getting things repaired thanks to the weather.
This was the scene on Highbury Ave just south of Carlyle around 6 Saturday morning.
Our crews were out on site by 6 o'clock to assess it, with the full crew mobilized by 7 a.m. to begin the repair. So they started shutting down water around 6 a.m. We did have about 75 customers affected.
That included the Earls Court Village long-term care facility, which brought in drinking water for residents.
This is a 400 millimeter diameter water main, so fairly large. It feeds a good chunk of the city.
Water service was restored Saturday evening. Ramalou says deep cold and the age of the water main likely combined to cause the break. The main was installed in 1949.
At that end of the city, there wasn't a lot out there in 1949, but it would have been supplying some of those areas further out.
The weather helped create this mess, and the weather is complicating the repairs. It seems constant snowfalls are not very helpful when it comes to paving operations. The original timeline for reopening was Tuesday, but the heavy snow changed that.
The weather hasn't exactly cooperated for paving, but we do have a contractor on site working on that restoration work, so that will be hopefully finished paving through tomorrow and have the road open for Wednesday.
Ramalou says if we continue to get cold snaps, we could get a higher number of water main breaks.
A lot of it is weather dependent. 2024, for example, so last winter we had a milder winter. We had about 62 water main breaks across the city, and that's about normal. We have had years that were extremely cold and we had closer to 100 or more water main breaks.
Ramalou says this serves as an important reminder that drivers should be wary when water is pooled up on the roadway. One driver tried to continue through, got stuck and had to be towed out. Another vehicle was caught when the road collapsed under them as the earth continued to erode from beneath the pavement. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
London police say they arrested a teenager at Clark Road Secondary School this morning after a weapons call. According to police, officers were called around 10 a.m. for reports of a boy with a gun. Police say the suspect was arrested at a nearby plaza and a replica gun was seized.
A lot of these replica firearms look identical to real firearms. Now, while there was no immediate risk to public safety in this particular incident, we can say that situations like this are quite scary for not only the individuals involved, but all of their family members, community members.
London police are sharing just how prevalent intimate partner violence is in our community, responding to thousands of calls each year. With more on the numbers and the reaction from agencies supporting victims of that violence, here's Brent Lale.
We receive 19 calls per day with respect to intimate partner violence.
In a report to London's SPPC committee, Chief Tai Trung detailed how prevalent IPV is in the Forest City. They receive close to 7,000 calls a year. And while those numbers may seem shocking, they are not to Megan Walker.
It's really indicative of just how widespread this problem is.
Walker, a nationally recognized women's advocate, is happy to hear that women are reaching out.
I think Chief Trung has made that measure accessible for women and girls so that they do feel they can reach out to police. A lot of police services across this country don't have that.
Chief Trung said that 80% of calls to his officers do not result in an arrest. They are working on new initiatives for those instances.
When we respond and there's no arrest made or no police intervention, that we're not just turning our backs and letting those families and those victims, potential victims, strive or thrive on their own.
Walker, who worked alongside the chief on the London Police Services Board, calls him a compassionate man.
He has taken a strong position in favor of helping abused and trafficked women and all of these women that go through a terrible situation every single day. And the nice thing about it is he's got the power to actually change things.
In the multi-year budget, LPS will now have officers to staff their domestic violence unit 24 hours per day. Brent Lale, CTV News.
A dangerous offender hearing began today in London for a man with a lengthy criminal record. Crown lawyers are pushing for 46-year-old Raymond Ramsey to be deemed a dangerous offender, meaning his time in prison would have no set end date. He has a criminal record dating back more than 25 years, most recently convicted for aggravated and sexual assault. The hearing is expected to last 10 days. Hundreds of families benefited from the annual Salvation Army Christmas Assistance Program this weekend. With more on the items available and the community support that made it all possible, here's Lauren Stallone.
The Christmas season brings lots of joy, but for many families, the financial pressure is unimaginable.
I personally could do without my own food. I'd rather have them have their Christmas.
One man who wished to remain anonymous says he's relied on the Salvation Army's Christmas Assistance Program for 6 years.
It's the point where you have a choice, either pay food or pay rent or have Christmas.
The program helps families in need by providing toys and gifts for children.
On Friday, we saw almost 500 households, and today we're expecting 600. And overall, we're expecting to give out toys to about 5,500 kids this year.
Parents get to choose from a variety of donated items to gift their kids, including board games, books, and crafts.
On top of this year's donations, the Salvation Army also received 20,000 stuffed animals from the London Knights' annual Teddy Bear Toss.
For children who have outgrown fluffy friends, bikes donated by Waste Connections of Canada are also available for pickup.
We ended up getting about 100 bikes. Roughly $12,000 we collected throughout the year.
Hundreds of volunteers dedicate their time to ensure everything runs smoothly on distribution days.
It's just such a blessing to be able to serve people, those who are maybe less fortunate.
One volunteer traveled all the way from South Africa to spend the holidays with her son.
The weather's quite different from South Africa.
She says the opportunity to give back during her visit is an extra bonus.
All I can do is bring them to the Lord, and give them a hug and a cuddle and mean what I say when I say I'm going to be praying for them.
The final day to donate gifts is next weekend at various drop-off locations across the city.
You see your kids have opening presents, and your worst day will become the happiest day you could ever have.
Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
Local snowmobiling organizers say they're looking forward to a banner year on the trails thanks to Mother Nature and a multi-million-dollar investment from the provincial government. As Scott Miller reports, without that cash injection, the season might have been in serious jeopardy.
As the snow falls, snowmobilers rejoice over the potential bumper season potentially ahead.
It's certainly trending that way. We like cold, we like snow, and we're getting lots of that in the early season.
But up until 2 weeks ago, at least some of the 30,000 kilometers of snowmobile trails in Ontario were going to have to be closed this winter.
We had pegged about 4,500 kilometers of trail across Ontario to close for this upcoming season. obviously with the intention of looking at ways to bring it back in future years.
That was until the Ministry of Transportation came through with a $3.9 million check to help balance the books for the Ontario Federation of Snowmobile Clubs, who say revenues from trail permits have not been meeting the rising cost of trail maintenance.
The things that we consume, fuel, steel, lumber, all of those things have gone up over the years, and it's caught up with us. And in order to maintain a 30,000 plus kilometer network that reaches all corners of this vast province, we needed to make some changes, and we needed to have this critical investment from our partners at the Ministry of Transportation of Ontario.
Despite a bumper snowmobile season last year, more and more snowmobilers are buying multi-day passes, not year-round passes, which has impacted snowmobile clubs' ability to maintain trails across Ontario, says Eichmeyer.
Costs during the COVID years went through the roof. And now we have seen those permit sales come back down to earth and actually regress a bit while costs have continued to rise. So all of this was an effort to try to balance the budget, ensure that we are putting the proper maintenance, the proper funding into the trails that we have.
The provincial cash means it's full steam ahead for this snowmobile season in Ontario as trails slowly open across the province.
When we look outside today and we see the snow falling again, this could be a season for the ages, one where we have excellent trail availability from December all the way through to April. It's certainly shaping up that way.
In Midwestern Ontario, Scott Miller, CTV News.
London's mayor extended his gratitude to a Good Samaritan tonight who returned his lost wallet to him.
By the time I got back to City Hall, a member of the public had picked up the wallet, realized it was mine because of the card that was in it, returned it to City Hall with everything intact.
Josh Morgan says he was heading to a radio interview when he dropped his wallet while exiting his car. The mayor says his wallet contained money, credit cards, and security passes, which was all returned to his office.
It was an anonymous person. I have no idea who it is, so let me say to them, thank you very much for being a wonderful beacon of light in our city.
When we come back, is a majority government around the corner? The latest from the Parliament Hill rumor mill and more potential floor crossing. Canada's main stock index edged lower as the price of oil fell. The TSX lost 44 points. In New York, the Dow fell 41. The Nasdaq dropped 138. The Canadian dollar technically down, losing just 1/100th of a cent. On commodity markets, gold gained almost $7 an ounce. Oil lost 62 cents a barrel. The federal Conservative leader is accusing the Prime Minister of orchestrating a majority government through backroom deals. Those comments come as rumors swirl of more potential floor crossers defecting to the Liberals. With the latest, here's Mike Lucatour.
Outside Michael Maw's constituency office, a small but vocal protest demanded answers to why the Markham Unionville MP crossed the floor to the Liberals.
I feel very upset, and we fight for our future, we fight for democracy, we fight for our children.
In a statement last week, Maw said he made his decision after listening carefully to the people in his riding about the direction of the country. Sources tell CTV News the Energy Minister helped recruit the former Conservative. Asked if there are others ready to join the government, Hodgson would only say this.
Let's say I'm getting lots of inquiries.
Conservative Alberta MP Matt Genereux met with Prime Minister Carney in November before deciding to quit politics. That was just days after Nova Scotia MP Chris D'Entremont crossed the floor, citing Pierre Poilievre's leadership. Now, in an interview with CTV's chief political correspondent Vassy Kapelos, the Conservative leader denied he is a liability to his party.
I'm very troubled that they made that decision, but the people in their ridings voted for the Conservative agenda that I'm continually leading on in the House of Commons.
One more floor crossing would secure a majority government for the Liberals. While he wasn't able to rule out more defections, Poilievre called the move undemocratic.
If Mark Carney believes that he should have a majority to go ahead with the high-cost policies he's running on, then he should get that mandate from Canadians in an election, not through dirty backroom deals.
Even if another Conservative crosses the floor, Poilievre says he will remain at the helm of his party
for his leadership review in January. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
Into the deep freeze overnight with wind chills close to -22. The Middlesex London Health Unit has issued a cold weather alert. Bitterly cold temperatures to kick off your Tuesday as well, but a rebound on the way. Thanks, Marcy Duncan, for this photo. This is Aislinn Drew, and I love the costume. -13 by 8 o'clock, winds out of the southwest. The wind's picking up tomorrow, but a milder air mass moving in. I'll have your local weather details and rain on the way Thursday with gusty winds. Lots of weather to get to tonight. Stay with us.
Welcome back with Julie Atchison on the desk now. Starting this week off pretty cold. We're not just talking about cold temperatures, it's the wind chill on top of that that really takes the bite out of you as well.
Yeah, wind chill overnight -20 to -2, and it has prompted the Middlesex London Health Unit to issue a cold weather alert. So extreme cold weather alerts are issued by the health unit when the low temperature of -15 or lower, or a wind chill of -20. We're right on the threshold of that. The forecast low tonight expected to drop down to -14. Now today we hit a high of -8. Now, normal daytime high still coming in above freezing this time of year, and you can see our overnight low of -13. So some cold air across our region. 1 and -7 is where we should be. 14 degrees, the record high set back in 1971. Let's take a look at our satellite radar. Things have quieted down. We had some flurries and gusty winds earlier in the day, but the flurry action is starting to calm down just a bit. We are under the influence of high pressure, so overnight still a few light flurries towards parts of Midwestern Ontario, Grey and Bruce County. You could still see a few very isolated squalls, but other than that, conditions will be calming down. We do have a couple days of relatively milder temperatures on the way. So tomorrow we're going to see the mercury come up just a bit. And then as we head into Wednesday, Thursday, we actually have rain in the forecast, not snow. So -14 overnight, along the lakeshore, -6. So as we go out 24 hours, a nice mix of sun and cloud expected tomorrow. It'll be nice to see the sunshine and a temperature close to where we should be for this time of year. In terms of active weather, we're not expecting anything to move in overnight or tomorrow. There is the potential for some very light freezing drizzle towards Grey and Bruce County. Your Tuesday forecast will start the day with a bit of cloud cover, but quickly becoming a mix of sun and cloud to mainly sunny. By the afternoon, we'll hit a -2. So we're going to dig our way out first thing in the morning of the cold air, and by the afternoon, we'll be coming in closer to where we should be. Mainly cloudy on Wednesday, the high 2 degrees, wet and windy on Thursday. Periods of rain, the high 5 degrees. I don't think that's going to take care of all the snow we have, so we're still looking forward to some snowy conditions as we head into your Friday. If you've liked the snow so far, we have flurries at -5, then back up to 2. Potential for a rain snow mix Saturday, mainly cloudy on Sunday, and -2 as we head into Monday. Midwestern Ontario forecast a bit different for you. A mix of sun and cloud, and then chance of some nighttime flurries heading into Tuesday evening, and then the potential for a rain snow mix towards Grey and Bruce County as we head into Wednesday. Huron and Perth County just mainly cloudy. Thursday, everyone's going to see some rainfall. Rain and gusty winds expected. This low pressure system comes right into the Great Lakes, and with it a fairly tight pressure gradient, which means the winds will be quite gusty out of the southwest initially, but shifting to the northwest behind this system. And that draws in the cold air, and that activates Lake Huron, and flurries and squalls expected as we head into your Friday. Saturday, rain snow mix back up to +1, -2 on Sunday, and -3 on Monday. This is going to be a week where we're watching this forecast quite closely because we will see some changes likely. But we do have mild air moving back in. We have rain in the forecast on Thursday, and then another blast of cold coming in briefly on Friday. The weekend, I know many of you traveling, potential for a bit of a rain snow mix Saturday, but things looking a bit calmer as we head into your Sunday. Carlyle, back to you.
Thanks very much, Julie. London hosted some of the best speed skaters in the province this weekend, an elite-level event qualifying for next year's Ontario Winter Games. With more on the competition, here's Brent Lale.
It's the fastest skaters in the province.
Best of the best in Ontario.
It's definitely competitive today. There's a guy on the national team, he's really quick, man.
They were all competing in an elite 2-day event hosted by the London Speed Skating Club.
It's like high intensity. I like adrenaline, so
It's just really fun and exciting to race other people, especially faster.
Among those racing was Adam Law, a member of Team Canada's Next Gen squad who finished 9th in the Olympic trials. Law is from Mississauga and now trains in Montreal.
I just wanted to come back, help give back to the community that helps raise me. Started young at like 12 years old, so just coming here and hoping to inspire the next generation of skaters.
The stop on the circuit also had a Masters category. Ed Vandenduel of London is a 68-year-old who can still fly.
The London Club is always looking for new skaters. We've got 20 or 30 skaters now, but for people that don't want to do hockey, this is a fabulous sport. It's great social time. I always say I've never met a speed skater I didn't like.
Speed skating always gains more exposure during an Olympic year. In London, it's not only inclusive, but challenging.
We are welcoming new people who want to do a Learn to Speed Skate in January, and anybody age 5 and up is welcome to come. So people are used to seeing speed skating at the Olympics, and that's what they think speed skating looks like. I coach ages 5 to 12, and we can start when we're little. That's where it's best to start, actually, and like it doesn't look like it does on TV, but we'll get them there.
Brent Lale, CTV News.
Finally tonight, it's the home stretch for the Business Cares food drive, wrapping up this Friday.
What you see is more than awesome behind us, and a lot of people have already given, and we thank them for that. And but what I'm asking today is for people that can give and want to give, we'd gladly accept it, but only if you can.
Organizers say they've packed the Western Fair Agriplex, but they say the need for support still exceeds what they've brought in so far. However, they are calling the recent grocery store drive a success.
Our visual and actual food count is wonderful. We had 2 days, and quite honestly, we would have been down a little bit had we not had extra stores that we put on. We added 5 new stores this year, and with those 5 gave us about a 1% over where we were last year. So we notice giving across the board is maybe a little lighter, but other people are picking up, and that's what we need a final push with.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.